Hello, Violas. This is the final video 3 of 3, focusing on Gavotte. Now, if you have not done the first 2 videos, please go back and do those because I'll be referring to some things that I worked on in the first video, but it is very important that you already know how measure 20 goes before doing this video because I'm not really going to talk about it. All right, I'm just going to blow right past it because I will be assuming that you already did video 2. All right, so the biggest challenge in the last 4 lines of Gavotte really has to do with rhythm, okay? Because we've got quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. Okay, so we want to make sure that each of those rhythms are getting their fair share of the beat. So if I'm looking at the line of measure 17, we've got all 3 of those rhythms already there. So I'm actually going to say that line in do's and do days just so that you have a baseline for where we're going here with this line. So here's my beat. Here's measure 17 through 20. Ready, go. Do, 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 day, do, day, do, rest, do, 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 do to data, do to data, do day, do day. Now, I'm assuming that you already know measure 20 and have worked it up to a reasonable speed. So let's find a speed where all of those rhythms work. All right. This is my favorite part of the piece, by the way. I think it's really pretty. This line's really pretty. So if this is my beat, do, 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 do. Let's try that. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. Okay, this time what I'd like you to do is while I play this, I want you to think the rhythms in your head. If your school does do's and do days like mine do, think your do's and do days. If your school does 1 and 2 ands, think those. Or if you don't have a rhythm syllable system that you use, just try to keep a steady beat and listen to those rhythms and how they fit in with the steady beat. All right, so this is my beat. You can keep that beat somewhere on your body, tap it on your lap. You could do a soft clap so you could still hear me. You could do a snap if you're good at snapping, all right? So I'm gonna start at measure 17 and we're just gonna see how those notes fit in with the beat, right? 1, 2, ready, go. So hopefully you've gotten those rhythms straightened out. There might be some things you need to work out, in particular the slur string crossing in measure 18. Right? Do, day, do, day, do. Not letting that slur change our rhythm. But other than that, really just focus on that rhythm, making sure everything's even. Now in the next line, we have hooked bows on 8th notes. We've never had that before, so that's kind of cool. Let's try that. So we're gonna go down, up, up, and just do it a couple times. So it's a do, do day, but our 8th notes, our do days, are an up bow. Okay, so that's what we've got going on in this line. Notice also, since you're kind of in the basement, you're in the low portion of your viola, that's gonna mean that you need to be able to see that forearm as it's coming around, all right? And also, yes, you do have to do the 4th finger. Thanks for asking. So I'm gonna do the line of 21 to demonstrate the hooked bows and the steady beat. 1, 2, ready, go. So notice those quarter notes felt real nice and long. I'm making sure my bow stays long so I'm not tempted to rush those quarter notes. Otherwise, I'd be in hot water when I got to those 16th notes, right? Okay, so let's do that last measure just to make sure. So it's going do, do to, day to, do, rest, like this. That's fun. Let's do it together. Ready, go. All right, here it is without slurs. All right, so notice how my slurs did not change my rhythm at all, and my quarter notes stayed nice and long. Okay, moving on to the last two lines. All concepts in those are pretty similar. C string notes are back. So check out those C string notes quick. In the very last line, luckily for you, they all move by step. So it's pretty easy to kind of sleuth your way through and figure out what note that should be because it's just a step down from the note before it. Okay, so take a second to familiarize yourself with those notes before we play it. You can pause the video if you need to. And I'm going to start from measure 25. And the concepts are pretty much the same as before. Do, do to, day to, do, 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 do. And we'll have a bow lift on these rests as well. And you know because there'll be a down bow printed at the following measure. So you know that you would need to do a bow lift to get to that down bow. These quarter notes have staccato dots over them, so I'm going to play them short, but I'm not going to play them fast. I'm just going to play them short. So instead of, I'm going to go. Okay, so I'm going to start from the line of 25, and I'll just play till the end of the page. And then if there's anything else we need to go over, we can discuss it. All right, so here's 25 to the end. 1, 2, ready, go. Bow lift. Bow lift. All right, so it's cool you get to pluck at the end of that, right? You have a hooked bow. Then just stick your pointer finger out. So keep your bow hold pretty much the same. Because you're only doing it for 2 notes. Sometimes for orchestra, if you have to pluck for a long section, you do like a thing where you rotate your frog into your pincher. For this one, just stick your pointer finger out. You've still only got 2 notes. You can handle that. All right. So my only other piece of advice other than the rhythm for the 16th notes in general is when you practice it, you might want to think about your fingers being like little hammers to make sure that they're very rhythmic. Just to start, I know it doesn't sound super musical, but it really does help keep your notes even and train your fingers to make every 16th note do da 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 sound very even. Okay, now the last thing for the very last line, when you're going down to your C string, check the elbow swing. All right, so please make sure that you are swinging that elbow all the way over so that you can reach those C string notes. Okay, and yes, you do have to do the 4th finger in measure 29. Thank you for asking. You will be stronger for it. All right, so just watch I'm gonna play that last line one more time just so you can watch the journey of my elbow. All right, so that is everything you need to know in Gavotte. Easier said than done, I know. After you're done playing to the bottom of the page, notice you've got a DCL fine. So you go back to the beginning and play till the fine, which is at the end of line 4. So you make yourself a nice little sandwich there, nice Gavotte sandwich. So good luck.